there is something very strange going on with Overwatch Competitive. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Stylosa, and yeah, Overwatch Competitive, what the hell is going on with the game? Now, I think there's two ways of looking at this. The first way is the matchmaker is broken. It is not working properly, and what it is doing is basically building teams, prioritizing speed rather than actually prioritizing a balanced game, just so we get into games faster. The other way of looking at this is it's just a player issue, and players just haven't gotten used to playing in this new 5v5 Overwatch 2 world. Well, let's take a look at some stuff. So this is going to be game one of a 4-game series. Now, these are games that I've played sequentially, so just one after the other. Now, this game was an absolute nightmare. So what I'll do is I'll pause on the score screen at the end of each game so we can go into detail and just see what is going on. But you can probably tell from the gameplay that's going on here, things are a little bit weird. This is one of those games where the enemy DPS is so much better than the DPS on my team. It is very difficult to get anything done. Also, the tank player on my team was, again, a little bit strange. Very sort of going in and, well, basically feeding. And it was difficult to get anything done because, as we know, support is the most difficult role to sort of pop off and make plays on in Overwatch 2. You can do, I'm not saying it's impossible, but you are reliant on your team actually playing together. So in this game, I'm not entirely sure if it's just bad matchmaker or bad players not understanding how to play in 5v5. It could be either or, and as you see, we get a player that just leaves the game, which isn't a great sign. And I believe that was one of the DPS, and yeah, the score that person was putting up was not great. I think it was a DPS. We'll check in a second, but it's a mess, isn't it, this game? That's the moral of the story in this match. It is very disheartening to go into a game like this, into a competitive game, where it's all over the place. The team isn't grouping. Look, our Widow is walking out of the spawn, trying to snipe, actually gets a kill. So fair enough to the Widow. Yeah, it was one of our DPS that left. I think he was playing Genji for a while, that player. Me trying a futile heal there, the player just dies. And like, this is just weird. This is not what you would expect in a what is essentially a diamond competitive game. It's very weird. It's all over the place. So this could be one of two things, right? It could be bad players, or it just could be bad matchmaker, or it could just be players are just having a bad time. Well, let's take a look at the scoreboard. I mean, I think this tells a story, doesn't it? Look at the eliminations on the two enemy DPS. 11 and 10 and 1 death. Look at ours. Well, one of our DPS has left, but our Widow has died 6 times and got 2 eliminations. I don't want to blame the DPS in this example, but this is... they have been gapped, but I'm not sure whether it's just pure skill or it's because, well, the matchmaker has kind of screwed them over, or they just don't know what they're doing. Anyway, let's go on to game 2. Game 2 was a complete reversal of fortune. I never died in this game. I got like 30 plus eliminations. The whole team popped off. It was just absolutely ridiculous. And one crazy fact on this game, and you'll see it when I bring the scoreboard. You can see it now, actually, if you were quick enough to spot that. But the enemy tank has no eliminations in this game. And look at it. We've actually gone through one round of play. And remember, this is diamond level Overwatch competitive. So you would expect it to be decent, you know, not this topsy-turvy, it's so well, it's not back and forth, it's just you either win or you lose. There doesn't seem to be any kind of middle ground in the quality of competitive games, for the most part anyway, because I do want to show you one game which is kind of close. And remember, these are games that have been played in order. So the first game was terrible, and then this game, it's the complete opposite. Now, this would feel terrible for the enemy team. Okay, it feels great for my team, because we're absolutely stomping them. But that's how it would have felt for the enemy team in the first game against my team. They just literally were spawn camping us because my team were feeding their brains out. So it's like, well, what are you actually supposed to do in that scenario? It's just, honestly, it is just crazy to me. This is absolutely, utterly crazy. So I'm trying to look at the enemy team here and try and work out what they're doing wrong. Are they just feeding their brains out? Does this feel like quick play? That is another thing we are kind of seeing a lot of conversation about throughout the Overwatch community, and I think you guys probably agree with this, is the quality of comp games can kind of feel like quick play. And I think there is an element of structure which has been lost because we've gone to 5v5 from 6v6, so we lose the tank. And so it's less, I don't know, less strategic? That's not even right. I don't think that's true. It's just slower, or it used to be slower. Felt like there was a bit more structure. Now, it is a lot more fluid, and I think there's a lot more space for your DPS to pop off and for your tank to pop off. And if you get a massive tank diff, like we've got in this game, then it is just game over. And of course, this is Zarya versus Zarya, and Zarya is super OP at the moment. So if you've got the better Zarya, you generally do win. But also in this game, we've got the better DPS as well, so we just win. Remember, there's more space now in 5v5. If your DPS are clever and they use line of sight and they pick their engagements at the right time, they can get tons and tons of reward. Support, I mean, I'm playing Moira here because I'm a feeder and a boomer. I just wanted to play an easy support. I actually do quite enjoy playing Moira. Moira was a hero I got the gold weapon for. I think I got the gold weapon for Moira as soon as she unlocked. I really enjoy Moira. Don't know what that says about me, but whatever. But yeah, there's more space for the players to make plays. And in this game, as we're about to see in a second when I bring the scoreboard up, our team just dominated. I mean, look at this. So their tank has no eliminations. I mean, I've never seen that before. Our tank's got 25 and no deaths. I mean, that is like absolutely ridiculous. I've got 21. I thought I got over 30 in this game. I guess I didn't. I got 21 eliminations, no deaths. Our Torbjorn didn't die. Look at the enemy score. Look at the enemy score. Look at this game was so... The matchmaker has completely failed in this game, I think. I don't know what... This isn't... Our team just knew how to play the game better. This is a complete whitewash. This is an annihilation of the enemy team. And it's just... I mean, it beggars belief. Okay, so let's go on to game 3. Now, this is a game of Overwatch. This is a really good game. Look at the distance the enemy team have pushed. 121 meters. This should be game over for us. And it was kind of messy. The enemy team have got a ball tank in this game. You don't really see ball. He's kind of a bit rare, to be honest. He's one of the worst tanks. Him and Doomfist, not great. It's easy to shut ball down. So this enemy team, if they picked a better tank, I think they probably would have beat us. But I think everybody else in this game was playing pretty well. And it did feel like an even game. This didn't feel like a match that was completely pushed in one direction or the other direction. I mean, it's pushed. That's a terrible sort of segue there. But you win a few fights in this, you can snowball it quite quickly. But I don't think we've got a chance in this game. I mean, it's very hard to undo 121 meters. We do have 2 minutes remaining, so not too bad. But you can see, like, I'm actually trying to find the soldier there. You can see our team are generally playing quite well here. They're not... I found the soldier there and I pinged him like a good support. Our team are not playing too bad here. General positioning isn't, you know, terrible. Look, our Mercy's playing well. I'm sort of not dying as well, which is great. We've got a Roadhog tank, which, you know, Roadhog... I think Roadhog's a little bit underrated, to be honest. I think he's quite good. But the team are playing well together here, and no one's really feeding. Like, look at the Cassidy. The Cassidy isn't out in a stupid position feeding. He's staying with the team. He's staying with the supports. And Mercy's got great positioning, great maneuverability as well. Roadhog is playing really well as well. Like, everybody's playing well in this game. This is the only game in this 4-game session that felt like a game of Overwatch, and it really did feel good. So this gives me a bit of hope, actually. If they can nail this and keep producing games like this, then I think it's going to be... Overwatch 2 could be fantastic, because this game is going to live or die on the quality of its matches, and of course it's terrible monetization, but on the quality of its matches. Now look at this. We're getting super close to the end here, and everything's sort of in our favour here. Our Roadhog's almost got his ult. He's going to be able to push them back. And this is a fantastic recovery, and I didn't expect this to happen. And on push, it feels awesome when this does happen, but it is super, super rare. But look at the scores in this game. Look at that. It's very kind of similar, isn't it? Look at the healing output from me and their supports, okay? You know, I'm Moira, so I'm doing damage. Our Mercy to their Mercy. Their Mercy did more damage than ours. But again, look at the tank. Our tank got 20 eliminations, 5 deaths. Theirs got 18 and 7. Maybe if their tank didn't play ball as much, they would have had more... I guess more success. So you could put this down to actually their tank player probably shouldn't have been on ball for the majority of the game, and then maybe they would have been able to have locked this down. So maybe it was a tank throw, but you can't say that 100%. But this was a pretty fair game. Good match. This one, well, this was horrendous. This made me just come off, because I was like, what is going on? What is our Hanzo doing there? Can you see him? What in God's name is our Hanzo doing there? This is 3-3, right? We've got to stop the payload. They've got a 2-minute push. We've got, like... Well, we pushed it in overtime. And, like, what is our Hanzo doing? Why is he over there? Like, so he's throwing the game, and it's just... Oh, my days. It's like, okay, so we've now lost the DPS, and we're really struggling here to try and keep everyone alive. Massive anti-nade off there, Anna. It's you know, it's not great. This could just be down to toxic players, right? This could just be down to players that just want to throw or just give up and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Again, it's hard to legislate for this. It's hard to matchmake for this. This will happen. I think this is just a case of, oh, we've been overwatched. Now, I think actually what's kind of funny now is the Hanzo pops off. So the Hanzo starts getting a bunch of kills. Now, if the Hanzo didn't feed and take that horrendous position to begin with, then maybe we could have held this and it would have been, you know, we would have been in a better position rather than where we are. Because look at the Hanzo now, he's getting kills. So again, it doesn't make sense. It's like, what's going on? But across these games, the first game was a complete waste of time. The second game was a massive roll in favor of my team. The third game was really quite balanced and a fun game. The fourth game was one of these frustrating Overwatch games that I think everybody's kind of played. If you've been an Overwatch player, you've been in these games, right? It only takes one player to sort of play stupid. I mean, again, the Hanzo in a crazy position. I don't know why he's there. It's hard for me to heal people here. The position of our team, it's a bit too far forward. You could say that maybe I should go forward, but I really don't want to here. I don't want to expose myself because it's single fight territory. And all I want to do is get my nano available. But our team are getting wrecked. They're using ultimates, and it's not looking great for us. Try to throw out a wonder nade, doesn't go anywhere, and it's bad news for me. But there you go, guys. So Overwatch Competitive has got a problem at the moment. It's wildly inaccurate in terms of quality of matches. They need to do something about this. I want you to let me know in the comments below what you think the reason is. Do you think it's just bad players or a bad matchmaker? And let me know your experience as well, guys. All right, thank you for listening and watching to the video. I've been Stylosa, and I'll catch you lovely, jubbly lot on the next one. See you soon.